And welcome from the commentary box to our latest F1 World event. The prize today is victory, but that prize can only be won by one. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. High up in the Austrian Alps, here we are at Spielberg as these drivers line up under the watchful eye of the giant steel bull. The history of this track, the legacy of Red Bull and the Red Bull Ring really need no introductions. Now, Anthony Davidson, take me back to when you first made your debut and give us some practical advice today for our F1 World debutante.
Well, yeah, I mean, Crofty, it can be an intimidating time, definitely rocking up for your first big event like that. But you've got to have faith in your own abilities and have faith in the practice that you've put in at this point. And, you know, I would say above anything else, just go out there and enjoy it. And try to finish unscathed as well. Easier said than done when it's your first big competition. Just keep your nose clean and get through to the end. That's the best advice I can give.
Job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. That's what I'm talking about. We're all buzzing here on the pit wall. That was super clean, and we got the win.
Smiling faces on the pit wall then after that superb win here in Spielberg. And rightly so. A brilliant effort from the whole team. Well, Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
The faces on our top three look so incredibly happy as they make their way up to the podium. A much-deserved victory and a brilliant performance from them all. So many races, so many stories. Who knows what the next chapter has in store for us all? So join us next time out for more thrilling F1 world action.
Nice one, you've just earned an upgrade. Upgrades can be equipped to your F1 World Car and will increase your tech level. The higher your tech level, the more events you'll be able to take on, so it's important to equip upgrades whenever you can. Upgrades can be equipped in the garage, so it's worth going there now to equip your new upgrade. When you're equipping a new team member, you need to provide them with a contract. Each contract bestows a bonus mod upon that team member and lasts for a fixed number of events. When that contract expires, all of that team member's mods will be disabled until you give them a new contract. Note that if you replace a team member or their contract, their current contract is destroyed, no matter how many events were left on it.
Welcome along, ladies and gentlemen, to our latest F1 World event. So many stories up and down the grid, but there can only be one winner. With good opportunities to overtake at the end of the Wellington and Hangar Straights, there's a lot of potential for close action around the 3.6 miles of Silverstone circuit. With 18 corners and average lap speeds of around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the longest and quickest circuits on the calendar. Some really technical terms coming up for our drivers today. Maggots, Beckett's, Chapel, making that unforgettable triple header. And of course, then there's the high-speed cops. The first battle is keeping it together on the track, and there are positions to be gained and made here. Here we go then, Anthony Davidson. Your car is faster than your opposition's. How do you exploit that and make the best of it?
It's actually a really enjoyable experience. From my experience as a driver, having a better car than anyone around you, it's a joyous thing because it gives you that unfair advantage. So you still have to exploit that as much as you can, but going into any competition, it's not knowing you're in a better position because of your equipment is always a better position than turning up to a race in a car that's not capable of winning.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done. Yes, mate, we got the win and you did it cleanly. Incredible.
Well, they've done a brilliant job, I must say, under some intense pressure to take a well-earned victory here at the British Grand Prix. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Welcome then to the podium, our top three drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race. Well, it's a new format for me. It might be a new format for you as well, but there's no doubting that the action comes thick and fast in F1 World. I can't wait for the next time. Welcome along, everybody, to our latest F1 World event. There might just be a single prize for victory, but there are so many stories up and down the grid as our drivers look to make a name for themselves. The Yas Marina circuit is made up of 3.28 miles of track, featuring 16 corners with 2 very long straights. DRS zones going into the heavy braking zones of both Turn 5 and Turn 7 offer plenty of potential for overtaking. The circuit comes with its fair share of tricky corners, which will certainly test a driver's braking management. Another day, another event, but this is no mundane progression. There's victory on the cards for one of our F1 World drivers today. Anthony Davidson, we've got a driver on our grid today that is operating at a higher level than other drivers are. Is this too easy for them?
Whatever car, whatever machinery you're in, Crofty, you want to exploit it to its maximum. And we often hear people say, oh, they outdrove their car today. I don't know whether I really believe in that, because the car can do the job it's designed to do, and it's your job to blueprint that.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. now use DRS. DRS now available. Okay, mate, final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home. You made that look so easy. It was nice and clean, and we took that victory.
A real team effort then, which has paid off in spades. A great victory here at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way onto the podium now. We've gone wheel to wheel, we've seen thrills and spills. Who knows what's coming next? So join us again for more F1 World action.
This icon means that it's a licensed event. Licensed events offer different experiences based on your chosen license level. Respectful driving grants access to higher license levels, but incurring warnings and penalties will limit the range of licenses you can use. You can choose which license to drive under from those you have access to. Driving under higher level licenses will deliver a more authentic F1 experience. There are bonuses and benefits to driving under a higher license level, so to progress efficiently in F1 World, it's worth trying to gain a higher license.
We've got more F1 World action for you today, so welcome along, ladies and gentlemen, and pick your favourite driver to follow. The Spielberg circuit then is situated 700 metres above sea level, with just 10 corners making up one of the shortest laps of the season. One time around here is a distance of around 2.6 miles, with the best overtaking chances into turn 1 or the tight uphill of turn 3. And as our drivers line up on the grid, they'll be staring off and up into the distance. Turn 1, up the hill, a great place to make up positions if you're down the race order. Anthony Davidson is a big name in the world of Formula One. You've made a name for yourself, Ant, but what advice have you got for the drivers out there hoping to make a name for themselves?
It really depends which kind of character you are, Crofty. I think my advice would be to anyone starting a season is that, yes, you want to perform well every single time you're in the car, but that's unlikely to happen. It's impossible. You're asking for the impossible in that situation, and there will be downward spiral moments, but it's how you pick yourself back up from those moments. That's the important part. And learning where you're vulnerable, that's a key part to your natural progression over the course of a season.
That's a new fastest lap of the race. Okay, well done. That's 3 clean laps in a row. Beautiful stuff. Keep it going. Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap. Oh, yes, you made that look easy. Well done.
It wasn't always plain sailing today, but it was a very important win nonetheless. Well, what a thrilling end to an incredible Grand Prix weekend. Our top 3 finishers should be incredibly happy with what they were able to achieve out there today. Well, it's been glory for some, less so for others. But who knows? The tables might turn next time out. Plenty more races to come this season, so join us again. It's F1 World. We've got more F1 World action for you today. Welcome along, everybody, as we look down at our grid. Who's your driver to follow? The 3.6-mile-long Silverstone circuit is one of the longest of the season, with 18 corners in the current layout. With average lap speeds reaching around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the quickest tracks of the year. Watch out for cars taking the right-handers of Abbey and of Copse flat out. It's the home of the Formula One World Championship. It's where it all began in 1950, and it's my favourite track on the calendar. But what do our drivers feel about Silverstone? Well, for a start, they'll know there's plenty of overtaking opportunities, so they won't be despairing if they're starting low down on the grid. So, Anthony Davidson, the season is a long entity. How does your mentality change as we move through the various stages?
Well, we hear some drivers say, oh, it's all over, only after a couple of races, but the seasons are long, and there's a lot of points up for grabs these days. So, you know, it's easy to look back and reflect and think, oh, I could have had X amount more points now in the bag, but you can't change that. So focus on what you can control, work with your team the best you can, and just aim for perfection from now on. You know, you can turn things around. That's the reason you're in Formula One, in this competition in the first place, is because of your previous achievements in the sport. So look back at those positive moments rather than what the negatives bring.
indicate DRS is now available. Okay, well done. That's 3 clean laps in a row. Beautiful stuff. Keep it going. job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. Okay, well done. That's 3 clean laps in a row. Beautiful stuff. Keep it going. Okay, you've just started the final lap of the race. Final lap. Oh, you were in a league of your own today, mate. Have you even broken into sweat?
flawless performance here then, and a commanding victory. Tell me, Ant, how do they manage to achieve this win?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Here comes your top three, making their way down to the podium for what can only be described as a fantastic day for Formula One. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. So even though it might have been a disappointing start to the season for some, there's plenty of time to rise through the rankings as we continue in F1 World. It's a full house and it's a full grid as our latest F1 World event is just moments away. So have you picked your favourite driver to cheer on? So here we are once again, ready to go racing through the Ardennes Forest. 4.35 miles of long straights, fast corners and massive elevation changes. It makes this not only one of the most exciting circuits on the calendar, but one that makes for some consistently high quality racing as well. Simply put it, there's no place quite like it. It's a classic challenge for us today. Our drivers line up on the grid ready for Spa-Francorchamps, a track whose reputation really speaks for itself. Anthony Davidson is alongside me today and we're looking at the grid for this F1 World event. Now this race is part of a larger season, so do you focus on one race at a time or do you play the long game when you want to come out on top?
Well, it's all about having that sixth sense around you, Crofty, that spatial awareness, as I call it, when you're in the wheel-to-wheel battles with others that may be new to you and you're sort of sizing them up, you're not sure about their capabilities and how they race. It's always better to err on the side of caution. That would be my advice, and learn your competitors as you go on.
That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done. Okay, well done. That's 3 clean laps in a row. Beautiful stuff. Keep it going. Okay, this is your final lap of the race. Oh, that was incredible. No one could touch you. Nice work.
A difficult race then on one of the all-time classic circuits, but they persevered to take the win here today. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
A show-stopping performance from the three drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure. Well, what a brilliant day of F1 World action this has been. Following these drivers throughout the season has been an absolute pleasure. So join us again, why don't you, for more action next time. Well, I don't know about you, but the nerves are gradually building here in the commentary box. We're just moments away from lights out at our latest F1 World event. With top speeds up to 215 and an average lap speed of around 155 miles per hour, Monza's reputation as one of the fastest circuits in the sport is well earned. We have 11 corners on this 3.6-mile track, with the best overtaking chance coming into the heavy braking zone of the Turn 1 chicane. Our drivers will be thrilled today. It's Monza, historic circuit, and it welcomes a new crop of F1 World competitors. We've got to the middle part of the seat.
Great work. That's a new fastest lap of the race. Okay, well done. That's 3 clean laps in a row. Beautiful stuff. Keep it going. Okay, final lap. Let's go. Final lap. Oh, mate, you're out there in a class of your own. That was absolutely brilliant.
Here we are then, a thoroughly deserved win in Italy after another excellent Grand Prix. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
The faces on our top 3 look so incredibly happy as they make their way up to the podium. A much-deserved victory and a brilliant performance from them all. And it's been another brilliant F1 World Grand Prix. What a joy it is to follow these drivers throughout the season. So why not join us again next time for more of the same?
Completing event objectives is a great way to earn extra rewards that'll help you to progress through F1 World. Events refresh regularly, so be sure to check back each day or each week to see what's on offer. Ranked is F123's competitive multiplayer arena, where players compete each week to move up through the ranked divisions. Select What are divisions for more details. Goals are optional challenges that you can complete for extra rewards. When you've completed one, be sure to come back and claim what you've won.